Alrighty. Alright, cool. Back where we left off. Cool. Oh, I keep forgetting. Yeah. Alright, oh, here we go. Wait a minute. Hold that thought. How many? Hmm. 300 apiece. Dear Lord. We'll only buy one? You know what? We'll just freaking keep going with just the four we have. Uh-oh. I keep forgetting this thing is somewhat weird sometimes. There we go. Electrons. Yeah, now we get to sit here for an hour and watch the choo-choo train go choo-choo. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do next because it doesn't look like we're gonna get uh it don't look like we're gonna get enough cash in a decent enough time. And considering the fact that each car for hauling logs costs 300, I can only afford to get one right now, so uh, hmm. Luckily though, this is a pretty decently small map, so we'll be fine. I think I'm gonna go on ahead and grab that other one though. Yeah. Alright, and we're gonna have to unlatch that. Alright, and give it just enough space that when I buy the other one. Alright, and go to the buy menu and break the bank. Not really, we're only buying one. As if the buy menu will actually work. I mean, I could buy one of these, but the weird thing is they cost 200, which is the same price of this, and I think it hauls less. So, it's not really. Oh, wait, hold on, one thing. All right, what is it we're looking at? All right, so we're gonna go 100. Okay. It's the first car we bought. Yeah. And then we'll go Wolf Lake Railroad. Mm-hmm. Cha-ching. And now we're back down to just a little under. But with this extra car, we can make a little bit extra money. So, yeah, I like trains. All right, so I still would love to know how they got 4 digits on their cars, but I can only manage to get freaking 3 on mine. Anyway, no time to explain. Onward! Oh, let's see. What are we looking at as far as the sawmill anyway? Okay, so 48 of both. So, huh. Apparently I accidentally dumped out some there or something. But we're going to go on ahead and get those filled up, both of them, make as much money as we can. Oh, that's the water thing there. Okay. Yes, the hay. Yeah, we'll do all that later, honestly. I'm hoping that the Glenbrook won't have an issue because I'm getting the Eureka next, and it doesn't have near as much tractive effort as the Glenbrook. So I'm worried that if I try and do anything too crazy, it won't be able to make it. But I guess we'll see. If the Glenbrook starts to struggle, we'll know that we can't have too much on it. I think for now, though, we're going to keep like 5 cars because I think 5 cars is good. I was always wondering, and I remember watching Heist when they were playing this game. One of the things they talked about was the difference between the Eureka and the Glenbrook. So, the way that Heist explained it was the Glenbrook isn't really much different from the Eureka. It has the same chassis, it uses the same chassis and everything. What they did is they went from a 440 to a 260. So, and they also enlarged the piston cylinders on here, which was, I think, really cool, thus giving it more tractive effort than what the Eureka has. So, yeah, little bits of information. But funny enough, the Glenbrook goes slower than the Eureka. I believe. I think the Eureka goes a little bit faster, not by much, but a little bit faster. I still like the Eureka more, though. The Glenbrook's good looking, don't get me wrong, especially when you do certain paint jobs on it, but, I still think my 440s are the ones I like the most. I know it's a little early for anybody to be playing Railroads Online, but hey, I like it. Uh-oh. I gotta do something right fast. Give me just a second, guys. Because I didn't do it last night like I meant to. It's on my phone. It's nothing to worry about, so don't worry about it. Whoops, I did a wrong thing. Oh well. I'm trying to figure something out right fast. Because I might have just accidentally saved my account. Uh-oh. Unless, okay, it's already holding it, so good. Alright, cool. So I need to get, so we're good. Um, and we're gonna just turn this thing around. Well, I feel fine. I mean, it's snowy outside. Very white. You know, there's times like these where I really wish YouTube wouldn't copyright me if I listen to music. But we all know how YouTube is. Oh my gosh, you're listening to music and not giving credit to the artist. Copyright. And it's like, why? The name's on the screen. Because I use YouTube, so whatever. No biggie. No biggie. I need to, I can always go find my earbuds and pull up my phone and do it that way, but you know. Railroad crossing. Oh, really? You don't say. All right. Well, I love the detail that they add to some of this stuff, though. Like the two houses just randomly sitting there. Would have been nice if they would have added a loop to one of these places, but it's okay. I'll be fine. It it's honestly more entertaining anyway for me if I do it this way because, doing a loop all the time, it does kind of make the game boring and less interactive. If you gotta pull in, back out, pull in, back out, whatever, it makes it more entertaining, I guess. You have to do more. I mean, the trip is still long and treacherous and you end up hating it, but it's still somewhat entertaining. Right, I went from 4 cars to 5 this morning. I spent a little bit extra cash that I had to get the fifth one. Yeah, great. Oh, yeah. And that's what happens when I attempt the beatbox. Log loading. Really? I should play this realistically and do all the whistle signals and stuff. Gotta love the fact there is a water tower here. And it's a small one too, so it does make things a little bit easier. I don't like the bigger water towers because like I do like the one with like the flexible nozzle and all. I do like that one because it's more useful than I think people realize. Because it can not only load up locomotives like this, but it can also load up the saddle tank locomotives and stuff too, which those tend to be the hardest ones to load in the game with water, oddly enough. I don't think I'm gonna fill this thing up with wood until we get like really, really low. Quack. Speaking of wood, gotta chunk some in the fire. Oh, come on. All right, we're loaded. We're ready to go. We're gonna let her kind of go on her own for a little bit. It is really nice. I just wish they would have added more grass. If they would have added more grass onto the scenery, it would have looked a lot better. Because if you look out, like, it looks pixelated, but oddly enough, it's still pretty. I mean, look at all that out there. That is wow. Just wow, you know? I could use the brake in the brake card, but yeah, I'm gonna try and keep going with this stuff instead. I don't quite understand though. The one thing I can say that I don't understand that they did is if you look at the wooden trestles and stuff, they look really good here. But then these stone trestles, I don't like very much. I think they look really weird, especially in an area like this that's really open like this. Like the stone trestles are really good for like mountain areas, I think. Kind of the same thing with the metal trestles. I think they're really good um for the mountains. To me, for like small little hills and stuff like this, um I think the wood trestles look better. You know, and I'm not saying, you have to use the like the crazy ones or anything, with all the sides on them or anything. Just using the regular wooden ones would have worked great here. Right. Get over the 4% grade that they randomly put up here. And we're going to go back down. Yeah, see, like areas like this make sense for the metal ones for me. And they use them really well here. And then they go back to the wooden ones there. This is the only exception that I'll make to the stone because it fits really well here. But again, you see them using the wood through here, and I think it looks really good. Just my opinion. But yeah, I do like the loops, though. I can't wait to go through the other one. Because so far, this is the only line we've used back and forth. Because we haven't had to use anything else yet. I like how they kind of level it out. Like, they don't make it to where, you're going crazy high through all of it, which is pretty cool. What's that, what's that one that they have? I don't remember where it's at that they have it, but, it's like that loop, I think they call it the Devil's Gate Viaduct or whatever, where it has that loop. It'd be cool to get some stuff like that in here. Alright, so we only have to go 20 through here, so as long as we hold 20, we'll be fine. And the rest of this is just flatlands, so we'll be fine. Right. Hmm. I might actually invest in that. I don't know yet. We'll probably do it after we get the Eureka, just so we can make a little bit extra money. Kind of do two different things at one time. That way it's not the constant back and forth thing. Go back. Now I can get two more if I wanted them, which I do, but I don't know if the Eureka will be able to handle it, so. No, you're not late, actually. I haven't really done much, so you're not late. Alright, what are we looking at? Hmm. I'm tired. It's snowy outside. And they said, from what our meteorologist person said, it won't melt. It'll still be here on Monday, so. But other than that, I'm just peachy. I can't go anywhere until freaking Monday, basically. And that's gonna drive me nuts. Alright, I'll be right back. Dear Lord, did that thing just now get over here? Yeesh. Alright, well, let's bring her to a halt for a minute. Because we're gonna do the thingy. Mm. That there should be enough for 2 cars. And it did that again. I swear, if they don't fix bugs, I'm gonna hurt somebody. Hmm. Cha-ching. Alright, cool. I get the feeling I'm gonna end up just getting the Eureka to do something else, because I don't think it's gonna be able to handle this. I could go on ahead and buy some more cars. Hello, Max. Matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, I will be right back. Got a plan, Arthur. Tahiti, Tahiti, Tahiti is where we're going. Oh. I feel like at any moment, Chris is going to gut me like a fish. Also, I'm gonna do you guys a favor, and instead of constantly just hauling logs, I'm gonna do something a little different. Now, this obviously means I won't be able to get to Eureka, but it does mean that I get to get different things. So, Tahiti, 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 Tahiti. Anyway, Tahiti. Anyway, the all right. I want this one. Okay, come it. I can if I go fast enough, but I really don't want to. I'm trying to think. Would it be smarter? You know what? Just get this one. That way I don't have to get another one. Why is it $200? Oh Jesus, how much is this one? You said 200. Okay, 200. How much is this one? 280. Dear God. All right, well, we're gonna get. All right, well, I'm gonna go. This is um. It's gonna go point zero. Um. Actually, hold on. All right. One, two, three, four. Well, that's not gonna work. Uh, let's just do it by the numbers. All right, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So it'll be eight. We just go eight, zero. We'll just do two numbers. Okay. And we'll do three of those. Okay. And then you just do 0, 0 for you. Like railroad. There we go. I accidentally bought four of those, but either way. Tahiti, Tahiti, ba-dee-dee-dee. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. All right, we'll just we'll do what we have to, I guess. How is she handling the climb? Oddly, she's doing fine. All right, well, we're about to have a massive train on our hands. Not really, but we're gonna have this thing loaded up. Put it that way. Tahiti, Tahiti. Ba-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. It doesn't seem to have an issue pulling it up the mountain. I think the thing that scares me is when we try to go back down and we get to that one area that it has that 4% grade. I think that's going to be the issue. I love how this thing doesn't even act like it's affected by the fact that we're going up a grade with what? How many cars? Like 8 cars on it, plus the tender. It'll have 11 once we get it fully done, plus the tender, so. I always do these log trains by 10, because, anything higher than that, and it ends up being an issue. I mean, once I get, like, the climax and I don't really have any other use for it, yeah, sure, I'll load it up with, like, however many cars it can haul and let it do this route, but, until then, no thank you. What am I going up here for anyway? Oddly enough, this is where the seeds and stuff goes. Wait, there's 2 of them. Huh. Interesting. Hmm. That is very interesting. Again, we're gonna grab the Montezuma and we're gonna have it do a few things before we do anything else with the wood. Now we're gonna load this thing up so it's ready to go, but I want to do some other routes too. What's up, sushi? Oh. I've lost my mind, but hey, I guess it's okay, 'cause I never really had a mind. Coincidentally, I haven't had anything to drink this morning. Anything, and I mean anything. It might have been that sugar I swigged last night. Who knows? Be like the freaking massive cockroach thing from Men in Black. Sugar and water. More. More. Bro didn't ask. He just demanded. He was like, forget sugar and water. Like, are you choking? You know, to be fair, I have no doubt in my mind that if I tried hard enough, I could make a full on gold facility somewhere over here if I tried hard enough. To be fair, Chris, um, I've never drunk anything a day in my life, and I don't foresee myself ever wanting to either. So, all of my family are drunkards, and I don't particularly like that. So, yeah, I don't intend on drinking. I just act stupid naturally. I don't need a drink in my hand in order to do that. You know the song, "A Drink in My Hand" or whatever? Just imagine that song, but with me with a soda in my hand instead. Also, is it weird, and I don't do this anymore, by the way, is it weird that I used to take sweetener packets and just dump them in a freaking thing of milk and drink it? Is that normal? I don't feel like that's normal. You know what? I'm in the mood to drive Betsy backwards. Or not Betsy, freaking Montezuma, that one. Okay, so I have no fire in this thing whatsoever, so we'll just have to deal with what we got, I guess. Also, I was kidding about driving this thing backwards, because that's very stupid and dangerous. But yeah, I used to get a glass of freaking white milk, right? And I don't like the way that regular milk tastes unless it has like a buttload of freaking sweetener in it. So I would just get a glass of milk when I didn't have my strawberry syrup that I could mix in to make strawberry syrup, and I just freaking um I would mix it up in there, and I'd make sweetened milk, and it was the best tasting thing I had ever had. I might be sick. I don't know. I don't care. I'm sick. I'm sick. There's nothing I can really do about it. So we have mini cars. I love the fact that I have this almost the same amount of cars on this as I have on the other train, but oddly enough, are you serious? That's all? That's all you're gonna three freaking pallets. I'll say this very quickly. I will be very glad. Oh my Lord. The point is to get trains and deliver things. There is no real winning. To be honest, there is no real winning. All right, I gotta check on something. All right, so this one hauls seed pallets. This one only hauls tools, and this one only hauls meat. So I'd have to get this one. And funny enough, they all cost the exact same. So yeah, that's nice. But yeah, this is gonna be the breadwinner of the thing right here. Alright, now, let me go align the switches. Alright, so through that one, we go this way, up the twain twack. We're just gonna, alright, and then it should follow us around to where, yeah, alright, cool. Alright, hold on, right fast, how much water do you have? Okay, you're doing fine on water, you'll be fine. Twain! I figured this thing will help me make not only money, but XP pretty fast, so, or at least XP. I don't know about money. These things are pretty cheap. Because, alright, if we go all the way over here, you see this one's 200, this one's 200, this one's 200, this one's 220, cordwood and straw, which I'll have to get that. Um, you got tools, coal, iron ore, oil barrels, oil barrels, oil barrels, and then this one also has oil barrels, and then this one holds crude oil, which I don't really understand why they made that because nobody ever uses it. And then this is the one I gotta save up for. And then they got a really cool passenger train that has absolutely no use whatsoever. It's just kind of here in existence. They have this thing, which I did use this at one point. It wasn't really worth it, but I'm probably going to use it for something. I don't know what. Maybe for the gold, if I decide to do gold here. I got to build the tracks if I do. And then the flat car for the cordwood and stuff. They got strawberry bales and oil. And then you've got the bobber caboose. I want this one. This one's the one I want. It's got fancy stuff. Way car, which is what is on my other thing. Then you got this random snowplow, which I won't purchase considering I turned weather off. The hopper, which hauls iron ore and coal. This one also hauls iron ore and coal. The water tank, in which I will purchase later. The regular crude oil hauler, which was the original that they put into the game. It hauls more than this thing, believe it or not. This thing, if I remember correctly, hauls 8. This one hauls 12. But the thing that kind of pisses me off about it, okay, this hauls 12. This is heavier. And it looks like it would be bigger, but it hauls less. So yeah, there's that. And then you got that lovely thing, this lovely thing, and this one. And then the last car, or last 2 cars. And then, yeah, there you go. That's it. That's quite literally it. Um, I'll tell you here in a minute. Hold on. All right, so a caboose is basically, especially during this time, um, if you notice, there's the brake handles on all the modern, and they have it on the they have them on the older ones too, but it would be for like the conductor and the brakeman to take a break in. That would be where they would go, fill out paperwork, all that good stuff. That's where they would go to do that. I love the little farm that they have that I'm assuming that's what this is supposed to be as a farm. Yes, while the train is still moving. Oh boy. I don't want the midget cars to be falling off the freaking railroad tracks as we go this way, so we're gonna kind of break it a little bit. All right, cool. Well, all right. Well, right fast. I gotta go and put wood in here, so I'll be back. Don't worry about me. Oh my, I'm back. Hi. Uh oh. Oh, this would have to be on an incline. Probably why it stopped, actually. And then we speed off into the sunset for some strange reason. Alright, I got to figure out which one of these actually does the water for the water well. Alright, well, that answers that question. Alright, well, quite literally. Well, you go over here and undo all of them. That way they're ready to go. And I failed. Alright, well, I promise I'm not intentionally doing that pun. Alright. No. There we go. Alright. Wait, where's the... There it is. Why it wasn't wanting to do what it was supposed to. Are you sick? What? Man, this sucks. Oh. We're just gonna let it keep on. Right. Yeah, see, this is why I'm gonna be very glad when we get the bigger cars, because these things are great, don't get me wrong. But we need more than just that little bit of nothing, you know? Alright, well, let's go on ahead and go close these hatches. We're gonna keep these open though, because also, can I go in here? Oh, I love the little town they got. Look at this. I mean, look how detailed this is. And you've even got the church, man. I mean, the church. It's an awesome little town. I'm noticing though, nope, never mind. There's the sheriff's office. Never mind. This looks like somewhere that you'd see like an old shootout happen with the train in the background. All right. Well, we're ready to go. Wait, where does this one go? Oh, to the smelter. Alright, well, cool. Well, it's like I said, there is a lot of area they could have used to put different things, and I'm gonna check it out when I get kind of far into everything. And um, I'm gonna see why it is exactly that they did not put the gold and all. Like, obviously, I understand, with one of them, um, dear God, gun smoke. I'm so glad that my mom and I am not the only ones that have actually watched that TV show before. I mean, I think it's pretty cool that John Wayne even gave him a shout out. I mean, come on. Gunsmoke, starring James Arness as Matt Dillon. Um, I gotta admit, though, I think the idea of John Wayne being Matt Dillon wouldn't have worked very well. Because, John Wayne, to me, um, John Wayne is not the type of guy I would imagine seeing doing a role like that. John Wayne was always the guy that I would imagine, doing military movies and stuff like that. It's Arness, I believe. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, James Arness. Is it bad that I had to double check myself? You see. I don't know why I did that on my phone. Like I had my phone and I was like, hold on a minute, and it just freaking completely forgot I'm sitting on a computer. All right. Enter. I hope I'm getting paid for these. Seed pallets are easy though. Matter of fact, I can probably unload all three of them at the same time. Watch this. Pull it forward just enough. Well, not all three of them, but close enough. All right. Well, there's that. All right. How much money did I not make? Yeah, that's not worth it at all. We're going back to the other thing. Oh my god, I've never been so disappointed. Freaking started with $16. I made freaking 300 and what now was it? Of course, those are small cars. So, I'm not expecting to make like a big hunch of cash or anything, but, you know, to be fair for what they haul, I guess it's okay. Plus, that's gotten me started with the other thing now, so that's at least a good thing. All right. Now, funny enough, I can now pull this forward and get another car if I wanted to. And I think I want to, so what are you looking at as far as fire goes? Boy. All right. Close. Yeah, here we go. Water's doing good. All right, cool. The bad thing is, I go and do this, and I don't know what number we're on now. 2, 1, 0. What? Oh wow, if I really only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so we need one more, or three, I guess. Oh, look at that! We finally made it to the Eureka. Eureka! Honestly, it would almost be better for me to get this little locomotive, but yeah, we'll hold off for now. What was it, 103? Cha-ching. Yoink. Yoink. I hope that's right. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. We're good. Yeah, I'll make a decent amount of money doing this. Wait, hold on. I'm not at level 2. Oh, I was at level 2. Huh. Okay. Come here, buddy. Come here. Hey, bud. Good morning. Good morning, buddy. You're my good boy. You're my good boy. Yeah, you're my good boy. Is you. Like, get out. And stop with all the jingle jangle. Buddy. Can't be doing that. Sit, good boy. Home? Hey, one more. One more. Next to my little rinky-dink little heater. Go on, boy. All right. Well, I got some jelly beans. You like jelly beans? I actually can't stand jelly beans, believe it or not. I do like the way they taste. No, I actually could never get into Andy Griffith. Watch for trains. Train farm. Let me actually go to the other farm and see if it's managed to produce anything. Oh, wow. 4 of each. Wow. That's so sad. My mom kind of introduced me to Gunsmoke. I loved it. So, wait, hold on. If that's the case, then that means I should have access to. Oh, wow. 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 Two whole cars. I'll tell you one thing, bro. I always find like the transition between like black and white movies to color. It goes kind of the same with TV shows. I always find them to be really interesting because you start to really realize like the color, like a perfect one that I like. Daniel Boone. I always loved that TV show till my brother wore me out on it so bad that I no longer want to watch it. But I loved Daniel Boone. It was an awesome TV show. I loved it. And I always found when they transitioned from black and white to color to be like the most coolest thing. I mean, the early color, to be fair, early color isn't really that good as it is now, but I still like it because you actually begin to get an idea on what people look like better than if you see them in black and white. I mean, you look at like the black and white images of like the Civil War and stuff. If you were to take that and put color on it, it would look so much better. I think every black and white photo should be taken, whatever, and given color. Same thing with movies and stuff. Either one would work, honestly. But I always liked the very first transition to color. Like you know how like the television stuff and all, like there was always that one day where all the broadcast places were like, today we're transitioning from black and white to color, yada yada yada. But just the transition is always really cool. Because you're always wondering with black and white stuff, you're like, I wonder what color clothes he's wearing. Or I wonder what color hair he has. And then you get like the color and it's like, oh wow, okay, I would have never guessed that. What's funny? Hey, freaking Lego Ninjago was a pretty decent TV show, honestly. It was, I'll say this, Lego Ninjago was good until, like, dare I say, it was good all the way through, but it was better until Lord Garmadon turned back into just Garmadon. After that happened, it kind of just, you know, it was okay. I mean, that one season where Zane was missing and they were at that palace and the guy was trying to turn himself into like the Anaconda or whatever, that one will always be my favorite season. But, there uh-oh. I think we found the Glenbrooks limit. That we have. Alright, well, we're not getting any more cars on this thing. But yeah, like, I liked the Anachrondri thing, but yeah. And so you get like, and then you get like really crappy remakes of them, and I think that's what really ticks me off. Cause like, don't get me wrong, I like the, well, I can't say I like, the Lego Ninjago movie had its moments, but it felt pathetic compared to the TV show. Like the way they animated it, it felt like it was on a cheap budget and just, the characterizing of all the characters was so much more different than it was in the TV show. It just kind of ruined it for me. My favorite thing though was when it was Lloyd's birthday or whatever, and his dad butt dials him and he goes, "Who is this? It's Lloyd, your son? Or it's Lloyd, your son?" He goes, "Oh, I must have butt dialed you." But yeah, the movie, I don't know whatever anyone else thinks, but to me, the movie for Lego Ninjago was just kind of lackluster. Like, it didn't make any sense. It was kind of stupid. It just, like, no, Like, at least the TV show, it, like, made a lot of sense. Like, Wu apparently loved, Garmadon's wife or whatever, and he wrote her a note or whatever, but Garmadon took it and gave it to her and made her think that it was from him and yada yada yada. Like there was a lot of drama going on, and that's what made the show really good, because like not only are you getting action, you're getting that perfect mix of drama too, and it was just really really good. The movie just kind of takes away from that. And, every Lego movie that I've ever watched, especially the Lego movie, I can't stand it. I cannot stand the Lego movie. It is just, it makes me want to blow my brains out. Like, hate me if you want to, but I cannot stand that freaking movie. I can't stand either one of them. Especially the second one, because, like, the second one made no sense whatsoever. And it kind of aggravates me because a lot of movies, in my opinion, they don't need sequels, but they get them anyway. Again, a perfect day. No, I didn't like Lego Batman. Lego Batman was childish and stupid. Again, didn't see a need for it. Um, but like when I go and watch when I go and watch like sequels and stuff, a lot of times I don't like them. I will say this: Zootopia 2 has been the only sequel that I've watched recently that I thought that was close to being just as good as the first one. Moana 2, I watched it finally on Disney Plus. That was like, Zootopia will always, um, Zootopia will always be that franchise that I'll go to a theater and watch for sure, no matter how old I get, because it is my favorite Disney movie franchise. But when I watched Moana, it had a meaning. There was a mission, and it had a lot of inspiration in it, right? Then you watch Moana 2, and it's like I'm not understanding anything of what's going on. Like 1 minute, you're doing one thing, and then to find out that Moana died and got reborn as a god or a demigod or whatever was just really stupid. Um, but yeah, there's that, and then a lot of people will say the Toy Story films. That's another big controversy. Some people want it, other people's don't. People that grew up with it, like me, I don't need a Toy Story 4. I didn't need a Toy Story 4. I don't need a Toy Story 5. To me, the perfect ending for Toy Story was Toy Story 3. Andy goes off to college. He gives his toys to someone else. The end. But no, then they did the fourth one, and it made no sense. And now the fifth one, from what I'm understanding, is going to be about the toys versus a tablet or something like that. And it's like, why? Why do we need this many Toy Story movies? Like, Andy's no longer in the picture at this point. And don't even get me started on the freaking Fast and Furious franchise. We're not even going there. That's another franchise that I think they just need to give up on because at this point it's getting old real fast. Alright, right fast. Where is the... Alright, so there's the iron ore mine. So I already know there's an incline going up this. I don't know how big the incline is, so we're not going to try and get the Eureka for that. We're going to need a better locomotive for it. We'll figure it out. Yeah. But, like, honestly, like, seeing as how popular Zootopia 2 was, after 9 years of everybody waiting, Zootopia 2 was massively popular. It ended up getting them the highest grossing film, I believe, in all of Disney history. Ever, right? And instead of putting all of their time and effort on continuing that franchise for like, 3, 4 movies. And see, I've said this, I don't want more than about 5. I don't think that we need for Zootopia. I don't think we need more than about 5 films. As long as they keep to the idea of what they've talked about, which is going to different biomes and, adding different animals into it and all that. I can deal with all that stuff. The thing I'm not going to deal with is them trying to do what the shippers want and forcing, and I say this honestly, forcing Nick and Judy to fall in love with one another. But yeah, like, I don't think, and it's like a few people have actually talked to me about it and all. I don't think Disney's ever really gonna do that with Zootopia, because if they did, they're not gonna make money off of it. The biggest idea, and you got to put yourself into the but well, see, most of the time I would agree more than 3 is too much, but with Zootopia's case, there's a lot of biomes, a lot of different animals that live in different biomes and stuff that can be brought in that they haven't brought in yet. So that is like the only reason I say, 4 or 5 would do really good. But, if they started and they tried to do 6 and 7 and 8 and tried to go all the way to 10, then I would say, you know what, this is just getting out of hand. Y'all need to drop it. But I think 5 is a good number for Zootopia. Because not only can they add birds, which is what they're doing in the third one, but they can also visit 2 biomes or whatever. I'd still like to see, like, for Zootopia, I'd still really, really like to see, like, not really an explanation, but it would be interesting to see how it is that Zootopia evolved. I mean, it kind of gave you, in the first film, it kind of gave you an idea, like, our ancestors united to create Zootopia, yada, yada, yada. Okay, but where are humans in all of this? How did y'all become humanoid? Nobody's gonna sit there for 3 or 4 hours and watch a film. Even I know that. I wouldn't do it. There's no way. Uh-uh. That made me absolutely no cash whatsoever. Alright, well, nobody's perfect, I guess. Let's see. I gotta find a line or something to put this stuff in. Wasn't there like a switch track over here? No. Let me look. I know where I can put it. We were talking about movies and kids' movies and about how, like, stupid it is that they keep making more and more and more of them. And I'm at a very low level. I just restarted again, so. Which. Um, boy, boy. Look at me. I'm getting all fancy over here. But yeah, like, there are some films that I feel like just don't need sequels. Like, if they were to announce today that they were going to make a Treasure Planet 2, that is just, um, um, that is one film franchise that I don't think I'd want to see. Cause Treasure Planet was just that really good single movie that doesn't need much of a second film. It would be interesting, I will admit, it would be interesting to have some questions answered, like, what happened to his dad and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't know. I don't think I'd watch it, honestly. But I'm trying to think of like other films, like animated or non, that I don't think really was needed. Um or shouldn't be one. Oh, what was that movie? The Atlantis movie. Um the like Journey to Atlantis or whatever. That one I don't think needed a sequel. And John Evans, if you're talking about no spoilers for Zootopia 2, go watch it, dude. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I've already watched it. I've already given it a rating and everything, but whatever. But yeah, Swishy Cars. All right, let's see. Cars one and here's a take that I think a lot of people will disagree with me on. I like Cars 2. I really do. I love Cars 2. Um, and Cars 3 kind of made sense. It was kind of like what Doc did with Lightning. It was McQueen passing on the torch to somebody else. I think making a fourth one is okay, just so that we see what happens with her. I can't remember her name, so, just to see what happens with her. But after that, I don't think we need another Cars film. And as far as Avatar, Fire and Ash and all that, I haven't watched the third one yet. So I can't say whether or not I want more films on that or not. But basing it off of the two that I've watched, Treasure Planet, oh yeah, it's good. You should definitely watch it. But based off of Avatar 1 and 2, seeing that they made a third one, I'm happy for it. But as much and it's funny to me because Avatar made a buttload of money, but people hate it. It's like I've seen a lot of people like hating on Avatar Fire and Ash, but yet it's made a buttload of money. So it's like, okay, so you hate the movie but you're still going to watch it? Like at that point, so like that's stupid in my opinion. But then you've got hold on one second, I gotta figure something out right fast. Hmm, that'll be better for what we need. This is really expensive though. But it would end up being worth it, I think. Yeah, I think this is gonna be our next locomotive or our first locomotive just so that we can get something. But yeah, and then I'll tell you a movie franchise that I was highly disappointed in when I watched it, and it made me not even bother to watch the second one. And that was the FNAF movie that came out. Um, when I watched the FNAF movie, I was highly disappointed in it. It was boring. Have a good one, Swishy. Um, it was boring. It wasn't scary. It really, honestly, it didn't seem like it had anything to do with the video game at all. Like, it was a horrible video game adaptation into a movie. I honestly think Markiplier could have done a better job at it than freaking they did. And then the hype that it received is just stupid. And then the second one comes out, and there's this one guy on YouTube that I can't seem to escape. And he's like ranting and raving, like, oh, FNAF 2 has beat this movie, it's beat that movie, it's surpassed this movie. And I'm just like, I finally just said the other day, like, because he's like ragging about how FNAF 2 made like, I think it was $2,000 or $3,000 or whatever. Or a million. It might have been million. I think it was million. I think that was what it was, like 300 million or something like that. And I just, like, at this point, like, I couldn't hold my comment anymore, and I was like, Zootopia 2 sitting over here at over $1 billion. Yeah, I'm not scared. It's like, you're hyping up a horrible movie just because the fact that you like a video game. Okay, don't get me wrong. I love the lore and stuff that's behind FNAF, the FNAF franchise, and I would love to see movies on it. But if they are going to get done, they need to be done better than what they were done. The first one sucked. Completely. It had nothing to do with the game at all. Or anything. So, that kind of pissed me off. And then you've got the second one I haven't even bothered to watch. Because again, I was so disappointed in the first one, I didn't want to watch the second one. Like, that was how disappointing it was to me. And no, Hunt for Red October does not need a sequel. I'm trying to think of, like, other films that have come out semi-recently. Oh, here's one that I think is really controversial. Or controversial, I think was the word for it. Inside Out and Inside Out 2. Yet again, another film that I didn't think needed a sequel. It ended well enough. I mean, granted, it was a horrible movie. I hated Inside Out. Inside Out 2 I haven't even bothered to watch. But it was just one of those films that it felt like, okay, one works, we don't need a second one. And they made a second one. I could go on and on and on with movies that I don't think needed sequels, but, Oh. Greyhound is another one of those films that, it's a good single all alone film, and it doesn't need a sequel. Now, I will say this. it would be interesting to have a film like The Greyhound, maybe basing it upon like the crew of the other vessels, like Dickie. I'd love to see Dickie's perspective of that engagement, that whole thing. What was the one that sunk? I'd like to see that one. Different perspectives from the movie would be good, but I don't think that we need a Greyhound tomb. Oh, well, but apparently you haven't heard of that new movie they came out with. I think it's like, not The Last Tiger. It's something in German, like they got it in German and everything, but it actually has a really decent German perspective of like a tiger crew and all. And I haven't watched it yet, but from what I've heard, it's really good and mostly accurate. So, but yeah, I wouldn't want to see a Fury 2 because the first one was so bad. It was the fact, I think the thing that makes me so mad at Fury is the fact that they had Brad Pitt use the name of War Daddy as his call sign. But when you actually dig into like the history behind the actual War Daddy, Brad Pitt screwed up that man's legacy completely. Brad Pitt's one of those people that thinks that he can make any role look good. And it's like, dude, like, you ruined freaking War Daddy. No, Fury is by far worse than Red Tails. Red Tails was a horrible attempt of making a romance action film, but a lot of the stuff did make sense. Like the Tuskegee Airmen part. Now, the only thing in there that I found that was kind of inaccurate was the amount of damage that he did to, I think it was a destroyer and a P-51 with 50 cals. That was pathetic. And then the fact that the P-51 was apparently fast enough to keep up with the ME-262s. Like, both of those were highly inaccurate. But the movie was good. I love it. I love Red Tails more than I do Fury. Because it did have some historical accuracy to it. Fury, nothing about that freaking movie was historically accurate. Like, I mean, the fact that, the Tuskegee Airmen were constantly trying to prove themselves was accurate. The fact that, when the Germans would send in their little decoy squadron and the Red Tails, um, and the Red Tails refused to, leave the bombers behind and all. Like, all of that is actually accurate if you look it up. All of that is accurate. But then there's, like, certain things that was, like, really inaccurate and made the movie kind of corny, but it was really good either way. Yeah, the trick made no sense either. But honestly, Red Tails was good. But by far, my favorite tank film, there's actually two of them, that, in my opinion, is highly accurate, and it doesn't try to well, T-34 was very highly, Russian propaganda for sure, but one film that I thought was really, really good, and it was that perfect mix of action and romance, in my opinion, was, oh God, what is it now? I had it in my head. Tankman, that's what it is. That was a great movie. I loved that movie. And in Tankman, instead of a T-34, it's a KV-1. And it actually highlights like how hard it was for like the one thing I loved about Tankman was it highlighted the fact that the Russians were out having to get parts and stuff off of destroyed tanks just to be able to fix their other ones. I loved that little detail like that because it was accurate. The little things. And even though these movies are in Russian, they are really, really good. But yeah, T-34 was good, but it how do I say it? It portrayed the T-34 as, I mean, in the beginning, it didn't seem to portray the T-34 as better, but when they got in the T-34-85 is when they seemed to really try way too hard to spread their propaganda, and it just like it makes me angry. I'll put it that way. Like, T-34 was great. I loved it. It was great. It was a great movie. I don't hate it. It was good. It was way better than freaking no. The one thing that always aggravates me, coincidentally, it isn't the fact that the one thing that always aggravates me is when people try to use tigers and then they proceed to use a T-34 to dress it up as a tiger. Like, choose one other thing that makes me rage more than that, please. Because, well, no, actually, I believe that part might have actually been true, but I don't know. If the variant, I'll put it this way, if that variant of Panther was the Panther D, then yes, I believe that that could have possibly been a real thing. But the Germans did upgrade their Panthers to have better turret traverse later on in the war. So, if it's a Panther D variant, that scene makes a lot of sense. But if it's not, then it becomes one of those, oh, so they did it again to propagandize, their shit. But yeah, I'll tell you, like, I love the movie Kelly's Heroes. I love it. I love the movie Kelly's Heroes. It was such a, like, obviously it wasn't meant to historically portray anything or anything. It was just meant to be that fun movie that was about a war where dudes randomly go for gold. But the thing that pisses me off in that movie, you see it in Saving Private Ryan, Patton, all these different movies like that. Like, they're always using T-34s to dress up as tigers. And it's like, if you look at the track setup, the T-34 is not a good option. But yeah, I think the one that angers me the most is them using M48 patents, I think M60 and M48 patents and stuff for the Shermans. So, funny enough, oddly enough, I guess is the better way to put it. In the movie Battle of the Bulge, we see that there's a guy who is using his Chaffee as a selling platform, basically, right? Well, come to find out, I believe his Chaffee was not actually supposed to be a Chaffee. It was actually supposed to be a freaking Sherman. And then there's that scene where all the Shermans would have charged all the Tigers, and the Tigers aren't Tigers, they're M48s, or no, I think it's either they were M48s or M60s, one of the two. Um, and then the Shermans were Chaffies. Now I know there's obviously not a lot of yeah, that's like literally the only thing they got somewhat accurate about that movie is the fact they actually used a real tiger, but other than that, we're not even going to talk about all the things they did wrong. But yeah, I mean, I understand that tigers aren't readily available for everybody to use, but when you watch movies like U571, which apparently is also inaccurate because the events that took place there were not American sailors that did that. It was actually British sailors that did that. So apparently the British got really pissed off about it. Oh well, go suck an egg. That's all I can tell you. But um, like they legit used, or they legit for U571, they built a freaking submarine for that movie. They built a freaking submarine for the movie. I'm not even joking. You can look it up. They built a submarine for U571. I mean, I understand probably recreating the perfect angles and everything of a tiger would be difficult, but the schematics are there, obviously. I mean, as many of them that were produced, it would not take much to produce a tiger. So the fact that like they don't just like freaking make a tiger for like to use in films is aggravating. And it could be a freaking tiger that you could use for multiple films. But instead, no, let's grab a T-34 and strap some armor plates on it and make it look like a tiger, and then it still looks nothing like a tiger because the gun sits too far forward. That is the one distinct feature of a T-34. Now, a T-44 would be more believable. I mean, the track setup would obviously be very obvious still. But I would be less angry with a T-44 than a T-34. Because the T-34 sits the guns forward. T-44 doesn't do that. The gun is centered. So it would work better for a Tiger because the Tiger's gun was always centered. But I'll tell you one thing. My time of playing War Thunder and all. One of the things that I find that somewhat aggravates me more than I feel like it should is if you look at like some of the Japanese tanks, if you look at like the early Panzer IVs for Germany, like the short barrel 75s and stuff, the turrets are not center. They are slightly to one side, and it aggravates the crap out of me having to look at that. And then people freak out about the Abrams armor in the on the turret not being centered or whatever, it being off kilter on one side. And it's like, okay, and but then like when I look at like the Panzer IV, the early variant and all, it like makes me want to freaking gag, and I don't know why. But yeah. I'm gonna deliver this load and we'll figure it out from there, I guess. I might do a few loads of planks. I'm gonna try. I haven't watched Band of Brothers in forever. Honestly, like Band of Brothers, it's a good little mini series and all, but it's annoying to watch. If that makes any sense. It gets really annoying to watch. Because like there's so many different things that are like so effed up in it, and it just drives you nuts. I'll tell you one film though that I thought was pretty good, and it's like a 2 or 3 hour long film, and that's A Bridge Too Far. That was a good film, and they actually had Shermans. All right, you have a good one. Oh, now you show up, demon. Right as I'm getting ready to end the stream. Perfect timing. By perfect, I mean I'm gonna slap you. Oh, I think I might do a a quick. Well, I'm not going to do a quick one, but I am going to do a maybe a Brick Ridge stream. I don't know. We'll see. All right, here we go. No, you weren't needed, but still. What happened to you having to get up so early, dude? You know, do whatever you had to do. What happened to that? Huh? Mm-hmm. Just admit it, Demon. You don't want nothing to do with me. Oh. No, go back to sleep. You get Railroads online and play it with me. Hmm. That's what you do. Hmm. It'll be fun, I promise. I need to get wait a minute, hold on. Let me look at something real fast. I need to check something on some of these cars. If this is true, dang it, I was so hoping. Right, well, there was hope, and then there wasn't. So you mean to tell me none of these haul freaking, that is so stupid. I have to get a buttload of these just to haul the freaking seeds. Oh, although my luck, it would be like one of those other ones. I don't know. Really? How to make money. Money, 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 money. Yeah, I bought me two car. Uh, yeah. I don't know, cause All right. Let's see how much money I didn't make. Yep, just I figured. Hmm. All right. Well, I'm gonna go make a gamble right fast. So, hmm yoink. Yeah. All right. Well, I died. There we go. All right. Hopefully everybody's happy. Yeah, son of a bitch is dead. Shut the hell up. I'm hopeful. And I swear if this thing here only holds 3 pallets, I'm gonna hurt something. All right, little one. And again, your fire, I swear, your fire burns out worse than all the other ones. Demon, trust me when I say you should totally get this game. What are we looking at as far as water? Okay, we'll find on water, so it'll be fun. No, we need this train game. This train game better. Well, I don't know if I'd call it better, but I like it better. I'll put it that way. This train game doesn't require a lot of brain power, which I don't have. So, yeah. Okay. I see. So, also, what can I haul grain in this game? I know I can haul it in this. Is that like the only thing I can haul grain in? Hold on, let me go over to the other box car. Oh no, I can haul grain in this one too. Okay, cool. Shut up, Rooster. Yeah. um, I'm probably gonna load this up and go on ahead and call it for now because I'm about to have to do a lot of work here. These cars are great. I just wish they hauled more. They're so small. They're like baby cars. And the bad thing is they cost just as much, if not more, than the regular cars. So I'm not saving any money. Demon? Shush. I want a full baby car train. Okay? Oh, thank you. You haul more. Phew. Now that I know that, I know what I need to grab more. I need to get a locomotive to put on the back of this thing so that I can do what I gotta do. But I only have two locomotives and I'm using both of them, so is there anywhere I can actually like turn this thing around? Actually, yes, there is. You have to look through this switch. I'd have to back, pull forward, and then back it up and round it out. But anyway, for now, we're good. So you just go on ahead and save the game. So hopefully I can start making money on that. But anyway, I hope everybody has a lovely day.